yesterday's watch review today. I was fortunate enough to start speaking with somebody who contacted me to have some work done on a particular watch that he'd come across. And we went back and forth, and he wasn't really that sure about bringing it on and doing some stuff. I really actually kind of wanted one of these for a long time. And I had some other stuff, and we did some trades, and so he got some stuff in trade and for giving me this watch, which I'm pretty excited about. I'd never really looked for them, but you know, I'm not going to turn my nose up at it. Seiko 829-6019 Astronaut, and we're gonna get a little bit more in depth with this. I'm gonna cut the video and go over there, but it's pretty cool, and they're neat. They have a unique functionality that is Seiko hadn't really done before and hasn't done since, with a rotating ring here for your functions rather than pushing a bunch of buttons. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So let's cut and we'll look at the watches directly. Okay, how about that? Hold on. Okay, so here I am. Yesterday's watch review today. So this is the Seiko A829-6019. It's a cool watch. These are known as the Astronaut Watch. The reason they're called that, of course, is because these were sort of an informal, unofficial watch used by NASA all through the 1980s. Sally Ride wore one of these famously. But if you look up pictures of like the space shuttle program through that time, the early 80s, you will see picture after picture after picture of astronauts wearing these. And they, like I said, they have a very interesting functionality. They have this rotating ring, which is a series of different heights and ramps inside, and there are 4 actuating buttons that you can't really see, and the tiny actuating buttons underneath here, like 1, 2, 3, 4 under there. And so as you turn and the ramps go up and down, it operates connections on the movement itself, and does different things. So you've got time, you got your time set, and then you can timer, like so. Oh, so you can set for how long you want the time to go. We can go over here to counter. Oh, it looks like I counted up to 9 before. That's pretty neat. Stopwatch. Dial dual time, so you can have, that's actually pretty useful. That's something that Pogue did when he was up on Skylab, is that he had, of course, 2 watches. He had his True Pogue, his 6139-6005, and he had his Speedmaster, and he had them set to different time zones, which he thought was interesting. One was set to his home, and one was set to Houston. So that's a pretty cool thing. Let's see, daily alarm, that's fine. Single alarm, and there's your back to time again. And time is one of the only features here that the light will actually work. I think it's designed, that's the thing, so you can hit the light. Because if you go to other functions, it won't do that. It's a super cool thing. This is the original bracelet, as far as I can tell. And it was full length, but my wife stole this watch from me. And so it's sized for her tiny wrist. Now, when I got this one, it had an it had a seriously worn insert. Let's see if I can find it. The seriously worn insert here. And I really despaired of being able to find a complete rotating ring. Also, Seiko's nomenclature for different parts changes, and so I found it, and also a lot of the times, a lot of this stuff is discontinued and you can't find it, but sometimes the sites or my suppliers will have an entry in it. They might have it. So I put in an order for what I believed was this silver plate, just in case this one got damaged when I changed out the crystal, which I haven't done yet. And so I ordered that plate, and what showed up instead was this, which was just this insert, which is amazing. I am not familiar with, Seiko typically doesn't sell just the insert, so that was pretty cool that they did that. That was nice. And they got me another set of all of the tiny button seals for this. So this is actually completely sealed. It's amazing. When this came to me, the The original owner had worn this thing and worn it and worn it and worn it and never turned the ring and had never cleaned it. It was welded together with dirt and rust and corrosion. It was unbelievable how dirty this watch was. But because of all the nice seals, it lasted very nicely. It's a lovely watch. It's pretty cool. So this sort of adds to my space collection. So of course I showed my True Pogue. There it is, 6139-6005. This one is from June 1971, right? I'm trying to see here. Oh no, I'm sorry, November 71. Mine was made after Pogues, but that's all original. That is what good looks like. And people are still confused about these. People still go back and forth. Oh, but the dial code says 6009T. The dial code doesn't matter. I'm not concerned about that. It's Seiko automatic water 70M resist with the 17 jewel above the SUA. It was only the 6139-6005. Period. Again, and I know I keep saying this, but every piece of evidence we have points to it being a 6139-6005. There is no piece of evidence anywhere for it being anything else. So anyway, that's a True Pogue. That's what they're supposed to look like, and that's what mine does. Pretty neat. True Pogue. And of course, I've got my Speedmaster, which is pretty cool. I love this watch. I do. I really love this watch. It's beautiful. Now, some people will say, well, it's got the 1861. It's not actually the moon watch. Well, you know, the nice thing is if I wanted to, you know, get a thrill from wearing one with the original movement, which is the 321, which is what went with those guys in the Apollo thing. They didn't have the 861 at that point. They had the earlier model, apparently. That was the 321. If I wanted that, I can simply wear this. This is my great uncle's Seamaster, which I restored from junk after he passed. This and another watch came to me. So if I want the joy of wearing an early Seamaster, you know, early 321 chronograph, you know, I've got this one and I can wear it. Isn't that cool? Yeah, Uncle Dick, boy, he put this one through the ringer. Restoring this watch was, wow, that was something. And the last one I have, and this is sort of quasi-space watch, I believe, though I could be wrong, this Sin ST-103, one of these apparently went up with the Russians, but it was like a private purchase thing, and there are more things like that, and I could be wrong. I need to do some research. Anyway, this is my Sin ST-103, and I replaced the matte crinkle finish bezel with this throwback early style countdown bezel, which I actually think makes it look a little nicer. Anyway, so that's about it. Pretty cool, huh? Of course, I got this in and my wife stole it from me immediately, and it's now her watch, because that's what happens. Okay, so let's go back and we'll talk a little bit more. Yeah, so it's fun. There are going to be lots of overlaps in my collection, and this is one of them. You know, there's another overlaps or Giugiaro. How do you pronounce that guy's name? Giugiaro? I don't know. Anyway, but the guy who designed the Aliens watches, who also designed Doc's watch and Back to the Future, that was a Seiko. Another twisty one like this, and that's pretty cool. So it can kind of overlap with movie watches. Actually, I wonder, are there any movies about NASA from the 1980s that show anybody wearing one of these? And that would be interesting, because that would be a double crossover. It would be a space watch, and it would be a movie watch. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. I like the functionality of it. I actually think it's really cool, because it's a very intuitive design. It's extremely legible. It's clean design. It's nice. It's functional. One of the things about Seiko in this time that I really like is that their designs, for the most part, were not Baroque. They were functional, totally functional. Like if the thing was there was a reason why the thing was there, which is great. I'm a big fan of functional watches. I don't really like really crazy over-the-top watches with all kinds of stuff on it that don't make any sense, like weird guards or extra crap like that. You want the watch to be pure. The thing that is on there for a reason. There's a reason why the thing is there, and that's it. And that makes it more of a tool rather than, you know, a piece of frippery or jewelry. Not that there's anything wrong with those. Some guys like to have flashy watches that show stuff off, but you know, that's not really me. I like to have basic, simple, straightforward, clean watches. It's one of the reasons I love the Seiko 6309 so much. It's just an absolutely simple dive watch. There's nothing extra on it. It's all there simply because it needs to be there. And that's really about it. I would say, so in terms of yesterday's watch review today, it's a good watch. It's an attractive watch. It's unusual. It's a decent size for an LCD, but it sort of stands out even in the field of LCDs. I like that it's all stainless steel, of course, but that's very typical for Seiko. And I like that it was put to the test. I mean, these things floated around in orbit, and that makes it pretty cool. So it has some cred. I don't know in what situations one can wear this with. I mean, like, you wouldn't wear this with a tux, but I mean, I guess it's more of a casual watch. It's not a dress watch, but actually you're not supposed to wear watches with tuxes anyway, no matter what they are. So belay that thought. But I mean, it's nowhere near as dressy as, you know, a Speedmaster or anything else like that. And even this really is, you know, this Sin is just a chronograph, but you know, that's much more of a dressy watch. I don't know. I wish I had the extras for it. It'd be cool. Original box, maybe. I wonder how Seiko promoted these. And I also wish I knew the backstory on how NASA personnel started picking these up. I mean, in a lot of cases, you know, as like with Poke's watch, you know, you could buy Seikos on base, and he bought his at Edwards Air Force Base, and he just walked into PX and he put a down payment on it, and eventually he paid for it, and that was it. I mean, it's possible that, and I don't know, I literally am theorizing, it's possible that maybe these guys down there, you know, when they were buying, somebody walked into the PX or something and saw this model for sale, said, hey, that's pretty cool, and he put it on, or she put it on, and then other people saw it and they all requested them, and then they were all wearing them. I mean, maybe that was it. I mean, there are other situations like the Vietnam Special Operations Group watches where they were officially unofficial, unofficially official, where they were something that was recommended or pushed, but that they weren't part of their official equipment. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, it's super cool, and I want to thank you, Nicholas, for the back and forth and the deal and the swap, and that was really cool, Nicholas. Nicholas got a new old stock Black Ripley out of the deal, and some other stuff, and he sent me a couple other things too, which was super nice. See if I've got him here. Oh, nope, they're upstairs. Damn. He traded me also a sushi diver, 6119 sushi diver, and a beautiful 6106 sport dress watch, again from that same era, early 1970s, but with the green dial, and it's really cool, and I'm looking forward to restoring both of them, and they'll be nice ones to add. I don't know, that's really about it, and now I have to go figure out why the TV remote upstairs is not working, but judging by my prowess with previous technical problems, my wife will probably end up figuring this out for us. Anyway, happy Saturday, and thanks, and everybody say hello and goodbye to the Seiko A829-6019 Astronaut. Thank you.